Good evening. I'm Dave Hatcher, longtime resident who remembers the days when my two children were enrolled in then some of the finest schools in the nation. I'm here to talk about the strategic plan document of creating a caring culture, or lack thereof. Welcome to authentic spiritual warfare. Many of us think that some of you harbor diabolical thoughts, far more interested in radical social engineering experiments than in protecting from sexual predators and abusers 99+% of students. 186,000 impressionable young kids. Who's going to guard their minds and bodies as their highest priority, or focusing on high-quality education? Who is really trying to protect these kids? Witness games of deceit, sneaking through a diversity proclamation 3 weeks ago, but giving concerned citizens only 2 days' notice so they could not sufficiently review it. Even blindsiding selected board members who were then pressured to vote with no urgency, and bragging about it in the local media. Such dishonest schemes have not gone unnoticed. How some of you unethically gave supporters inside information not provided to the rest of the public. Inside information. Rather, misguided loyalists showing up and giving the Potemkin appearance of apparent widespread support for a measure only they knew about, all meant to satisfy the politically correct. Dishonesty and cruelty stalk this room, spiritual warfare. Many of you were and still are poised to subject our kids heartlessly to mandated co-ed bathrooms and locker rooms, to include some emotionally distraught girls among tens of thousands of female rape and sexual assault survivors or strict religious adherents. Can't you see that? Some of you willing to impose oppressive penalties, including suspensions for kids using the wrong pronouns for something with no scientific or medical backing, undefined, and subjected to whims. Is that right, Ms. Chu? And who knows the real reason for Superintendent Garza's very abrupt departure to take a job with a vendor that supplies substantial services to this county reeks of conflict of interest violations. It happened on your watch as chairperson, Ms. Hines. Are there worrisome signatures on official documents that may implicate you, some of you, and lead to some or many sleepless nights? Now the baton is in your hands, Ms. Evans, and I'm sure your number one priority is to investigate and take action, right? We'll check. Many on this school board dissembled 2 years ago. Nothing is going to change. Now there are secretly co-ed bathrooms in some schools. We're not going away.
Thank you.
We intend to keep the pressure on. The more we see and learn, to call for legal action against some of you. Thank you. Go Caps.
John Kochka, to be followed by Robert Rigby, to be followed by Mimi Dash. Mr. Kochka.
I'm John Kochka. I reside at 6001 Arlington Boulevard in Falls Church, Virginia. Mr. Foster, creating a caring environment means that the Fairfax County School Board should not allow criminal sexual conduct, trespass, sexual harassment, or moral turpitude in Fairfax County Public Schools. Mr. Foster, were transgender students excluded from the Fairfax County Public Schools anti-discrimination policy prior to May of 2015? Yes or no? Were they excluded? I can't hear you, Mr. Foster.
Madam Chair, I don't think that's appropriate
Yes,
for citizens.
Mr. Moon, you're an attorney. Were transgender students
Just keep
excluded?
in mind, this isn't a Q&A, so we're happy to hear your testimony, but we're not going to be answering your questions.
Creating a caring environment means that Fairfax County Public Schools should not allow criminal sexual conduct, trespass, sexual harassment, or moral turpitude in Fairfax County Public Schools. Ms. Evans, should a 13-year-old girl be subjected to a 50-year-old, 250-pound cross-dressing man when using the ladies' room in Fairfax County Public Schools? Yes or no? Ms. Hines, should a 13-year-old girl be subjected to a 50-year-old, 250-pound cross-dressing man when using the ladies' room in Fairfax County Public Schools? Mr. Moon, should a 13-year-old girl be subjected to a 50-year-old, 250-pound man, cross-dressing man, when using the ladies' room? Mr. Racklevine, Should a 13-year-old girl be subjected to a 50-year-old, 250-pound man, cross-dressing man when using the ladies' room? Let the record show the depraved leftists on the Fairfax County School Board cannot answer a clear moral question. A man inside a woman's restroom can view an unclothed woman inside a stall. Such gawking is clear case of sexual harassment and creates a hostile environment in violation of Title IX. On June 30th, 2016, Racer X, a 250-pound, 50-year-old cross-dressing male, was in the women's restroom in this very school at a school board meeting. A woman encountered Racer X and reported the trespass to the Fairfax school resource officers. The resource officers did nothing, and the trespass was never reported to the Fairfax County Police. The reprobate 8 recklessly endangered your children by passing Policy 1450 and violated the moral turpitude clause of Virginia Code, Section 22.1/315, which would be grounds for dismissal for a Fairfax County Public School teacher. Moral turpitude is shameful wickedness so extreme, a departure from ordinary standards of honest, good morals, justice, or ethics, as to be shocking to the moral sense of the community. It has also been defined as an act of baseness, vileness, or depravity in the private and social duties which one person owes to another, or in society in general, contrary to the accepted and customary rule of right and duty between people. Policy 1450 is debased, vile, depraved, and unconstitutional, and the reprobate 8 are
Thank you,
responsible
Mr.
for it.
Kochka. Robert Rigby, to be followed by Mimi Dash, to be followed by Paul McClelland.
I yield my time to Kevin Hickerson.
Thank you, Robert. Good evening, Superintendent Lockard, Chairwoman Evans, and the FCPS School Board and staff. I'm Kevin Hickerson, President of the Fairfax Education Association. Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up. What a better way to show teachers that you care about them by valuing them and contributing to the security of their futures. When we talk about a caring
Blanca Robles, to be followed by Frederick Costello. Debra Hummer. Is Debra Hummer here?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you first. Okay. Good evening. My name is Debra Hummer. I'm a Fairfax County resident. Tonight I am addressing Strategic Plan Creating a Caring Culture. The U.S. Constitution is the longest-lasting constitution of any country. The reason for this is revealed in Federalist 1, which speaks to whether societies of men are capable or not of establishing government from reflection and choice, or whether they are forever destined to depend on their political constitutions on accident and force. This makes sense to me. Good decisions are made by thinking through topics as opposed to implementing decisions or policies without thinking through unintended consequences. Madison describes in Federalist 10 that a faction is a group of citizens, a majority or a minority of the whole, who are united and motivated by a common interest that is adverse to the rights of other citizens and society as a whole. So this begs the question, why would the minority who want to use the opposite bathroom be allowed to infringe on the rights of the majority not to have them in their bathroom? The Equal Rights Amendment gives us equal rights, not extra rights. Here are some concerns. Boys across the county are having fun with the idea of the opportunity to get in the girls' bathroom and locker rooms. Girls are feeling anxiety about this prospect. There are stories abound across the United States of abuse. This can be a slippery slope. Can we identify as another race and qualify for minority scholarships? Can we identify as a senior citizen and get discounts? Can we identify as animals and then build stalls and cages for our students? Most of us have heard of the lizard man. What about the boy in Alaska winning the track record as a girl? Can I practice law if I identify myself as a lawyer? As I understand it, the issues come down to harassment, bullying, and the staggering 41% suicide rate. Those are the issues that need to be addressed. Since we know that only a minority of children who experience cross-gender identification will continue to do so into adolescence and adulthood, are we harming them by prolonging this? Professionals are questioning right now whether being transgender is a trend. Federalist 70, Hamilton asserts that the Republican principle does not require that government act on every sudden breeze of passion that may influence the views of the people. Although people usually intend the public good, they do not always reason right about the means of promoting it. True story, woman in D.C. identifies herself as a man, puts it on her insurance form. She's now pregnant. She goes to a D.C. program, says, I need help. They said, we can't help you. There are no insurance codes for pregnant men. For those of you who have not thought through this and who are promoting this transgender policy, you own this and any other unintended consequences. As elected officials, remember Federalist 71. These politicians and statesmen who have been the most celebrated for the soundness of their principles and for the justice of their views are best calculated to conciliate the confidence of the people and secure the privileges and interests. Dahlia, this is my 4th request for a meeting. I would like answers to these.
Thank you for coming.
I would like answers,
Blanca
please.
Robles, you're up next. Blanca Robles.
Good evening. My name is Blanca Robles, and I'm a Fairfax County resident, mother of 3, grandmother of 3, and a parent of children in the Fairfax County Public Schools. I would like to address the topic of the strategic plan, Creating a Caring Culture. Your stated plan is to foster a responsive, caring, inclusive culture where all feel valued, supported, and hopeful. A closer look proves a lack of care and support for Christian values, as seen in the family life education. In elementary schools, you are indoctrinating our children with concepts that go against our Christian teachings about homosexuals by using child-friendly words like two mummies or two daddies. And in the process, you instill notions that these lifestyles are appropriate, notions which are in contradiction to our faith's teachings. I do not wish for my taxpayer dollars to be used to undermine my child's religious faith. We teach our children to respect their teachers and those in authority over them. We teach our children that all people are made in the image and likeness of God, and as such are due respect and dignity in their humanity. But not every action, deed, or activity that man contrives is right or appropriate. It is the proper place of each family to teach in accordance with their religious views, or lack thereof, issues about family and sexuality. By 7th grade, you are teaching about homosexuality, bisexuality, transgenderism, and in 8th grade, gender fluidity. Concepts long understood, controlled by one's feelings, and not proven by genetics. Still, one cannot help but feel compassion for those struggling with their sexuality. Nevertheless, boys, no matter how finely they apply their makeup, have no business in the girls' bathroom or changing room. Young teenage girls deserve privacy. Your intention to be all-inclusive, all-allowing, has lost sight of the truth that God created them, male and female. And as an institution of learning, you should teach that rather than add confusion to the already complicated teenage years. What you teach in schools carries the weight and authority of the institutions of learning. So what you teach is important because children learn to trust and believe what they learn at school. Yet contradicting God's teachings will come to no good for our children, our families, and our communities. A lot is said about the separation of church and state, and yet it seems to me—
Would you please wrap up?
You have imposed, with a religious zeal, teachings you hope now to move into the area of emotional and social health, making these lessons mandatory with no opt-out option. The state, it seems, has created a secular
Ms. Robles,
religion
I'm afraid your time is up. Thank you for coming out tonight.
of God in the guise of a caring culture. Thank you very much.
Frederick Costello.
Yeah, my name is Fred Costello. I live at 12864 Tewksbury Drive. You have trouble hearing me? See if I help that. Okay. I'm here tonight because I'm concerned about each one of you individually, okay, personally. You seem to want to do what's right and good rather than simply what you'd have to do to get reelected, okay? The board's goal of caring culture shows that you care, okay? Long ago, society lived by the adage, might makes right. And you as a board are in the petty position of might. Society started improving about 2,000 years ago. We were taught that might is not always right. The Family Life Education Program is a case in point. Your might claims it is right. However, it does not teach how to be a good parent, despite the fact that much child and student misbehavior and criminal activity can be traced to poor parenting, poor family life. Today, divorce ends 50% of marriages, but the program does nothing to reduce this rate. It says nothing about the lives of the large segment of society that have divorce rates of only 1%. Instead of parenting, the FLE program drills and drills year after year like no other subject that family life education is sex life education. The students logically tie the name of the program to its content. The program would be more aptly titled Pregnancy-Free Sex at Any Age. You appeal to the students' base drives rather than the students' hunger for ideals. So back to my concern for each of you. When you are dying, or perhaps shortly after death, you'll be haunted by the great harm you have done, misleading hundreds of thousands of children about family life. I urge you, for your sake, to avoid such a sorry burden. Take action now, before your dying moments, by making the FLE program teach the skills needed for a happy, married, family life instead of an active sex life. Cultivate a caring culture. Get the divorce rate down to 1%. Make that your measurable goal. Make life better for the students, your teachers, and our society. You have the might and the responsibility to effect such a change.
Thank you.